I knew it was up there somewhere. There was a light spot in the clouds when I let the pups out a little bit ago. Oh, not too bad this morning. It's cloudy. Not too bad. Still some rain or water dripping off from one roof to the other. 38 degrees. Of course, a wet 38 degrees. And see what's going on in here this morning. She's got a calf nursing on her. She just took it down. She's still got a long tail, so she hasn't calved yet. I don't see any new babies in this one. She's just laying there complaining with her calf in her face. Don't see any new babies in here either. Because there aren't no new ones. And y'all know I've been complaining about that camera where that bright light's coming from not working the last, 3 days now? 4 days maybe? I spread straw in here yesterday. It brightened it up enough in here. The camera at the feed barn. I could see that cow laying there. Without everybody else in the way. Once they finally went to the feed barn, I let them in there. When I feed. And it was a good 2 hours later. We were done eating dinner. And I looked up while I was eating, and none of them were in the lot. None of them were in the feed barn. Got done with dinner, and 3/4 of them were actually in the feed barn finally. So, get my feeding done, and see if I can find some things, and see if I can show you what I plan on doing. Well, what I end up doing. Of course, one didn't get the memo when everybody else vacated. I actually had the gate shut before I noticed him. Anything to make it more difficult. So I better check around the corners here. Oh yeah, and the dove was beating himself on the roof again. And I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, I think it's up to the bridge. It came up a lot last night. Not that I can see it this morning, but yesterday evening it came up a lot before it got dark. Now, who wants to yell at this little turkey for being in here? Dude. Well, you're the one that looked kind of puny the other day. And then you looked all right yesterday. Hey, go find your mama. Go find your mama. Blue, leave him alone. He's had a dirty butt for most of his life, too. I think she just doesn't clean his butt up. Because I haven't seen it all greasy, just dirty. Oh, now he's hungry. Incidentally, he's brother to the one we delivered that took off. Rainy, you coming through? Dogs can't make up their mind, but these old dogs don't like to go underneath gates as much anymore. Anyway, but he don't seem to be, well, the other one didn't seem to be a Fruit Loop either. Good Sunday morning, TikTok. The rain has stopped. The moon has poked out. Feeding's done. Time to get my day started now. Kind of a pretty sky, which you can see of it this morning. And can't see it on camera. I can barely see it without. There's probably about 20 feet of light ground fog. So y'all have a good day. Cheers. Yep, creek's up. That's probably 2 feet from last night when I fed. And actually, from the time I fed till I came out to check cows after dinner, it had gone up almost that much. Kind of crazy. The weather station says we're at 2.78, but that's not what this says. I don't know why. They were neck and neck until we were to 2¼ inches, and now this one shows more. Doesn't make sense. Hey, Piper Doug, is that what you had in mind? Piper Doug mentioned chains on the tailgate, and I was thinking about that anyway. That way it can't flip down and come off when you're dumping it, because they're great idea, but unfortunately, like I said yesterday, when it's in the dump position, if it moves sideways, it's off. An old long chain link, it was roughly half of one, so I cut it in half and did that and welded this direct to it. Otherwise, you got to do something else. They drop in sight nicely, like they're supposed to. And yeah, I got all this cleaned up as good as I'm going to do it. Maybe get that a little more. But once there's paint on it, you ain't going to see it. But I'm having issues with the latches. We have some over center latches. I know there's still some left. They used to sit right over there before all this shit. They were in like a 4-inch square Tupperware container, like what, 6 inches tall or whatever. And there is one of those containers upstairs on a shelf. That's not what's in it. But they were this exact same latch, but considerably bigger. As in, instead of being like 1/8 inch there, they're 1/4 inch and they're about that wide. This part's like that long. They're huge compared to that. And if anybody knows where they are, it would be Ty. And last I heard, a couple hours ago, Maury messaged and said she was still sleeping off, not feeling good. She was still in bed asleep, so she's not here to ask where she put them. Another idea I had was do a shot type that would come through here, but I'd have to put something here, which somebody said in a video, just weld a chain link. Yeah, I can weld a chain link right in there and it'll pop right in. But then you either have to spring load it or have it, like a door stud. There is one. I had it out earlier. It's up there in one of those boxes. I only found one though. Otherwise, I could use a factory made one, or I make my own. What I'd like to do, and I actually had on it was a tailgate that I made on a 84 Nissan hardbody pickup that I had. So when I got it, it didn't have a tailgate, and I made an expanded steel tailgate for it, and I put spring-loaded pins with a cable. So all you do is just grab the cable pull and open the tailgate. Which I wouldn't mind doing something like that on here, but with the way the top is made, everything's got to work up underneath here, and that's just not real conducive. I mean, even just doing a manual pin that you got to flip it up to move it is kind of a pain to do up inside that, unless I make it in a piece of tube and then weld the tube in there. but that don't always work out the best either. So anyway, now I'm scratching my head on what to do there and where to find what I need. Now, hopefully I can find something. It would be nice, because we're definitely going to want to be able to use a tailgate. Narrow-minded, I know, but anyway, that's where we're at the moment. I don't know where to find the latches. I don't know what I want to use for sure, so I'm going to think about that. As I mentioned earlier, I was trying to find the latches. I searched down here, I searched upstairs, looking for the container. I found, it probably is the container I found, but that's not what's in it now. I went back upstairs. I texted Ty, since she's not here. I texted her quite a while ago to say, hey, do you know where they went? I've heard absolutely nothing back. So, but where they live, probably better off sending her a message on Messenger, because they'll get that over Wi-Fi, where phone and text don't always work there. Or she's sleeping it off again. I know she woke up earlier for a little bit, but anyway, I went right up there. We got a 6-drawer. You can see it through the edge of the window. 6-drawer plastic deal there with bearings and such in it. And right beside it, on top of another box right there, was Reese's Fine Foods. Yep, quality deli salads. They're not, oops. They're not quite as heavy as I thought they were. They are a lot bigger than what's on the toolbox. But these should work nicely. I can put something in for safety so they can't pop open. Now I'm just trying to figure out how to get them on here. And I think the first order of business is going to be trim that off. Probably smooth. That's factory weld there. Smooth that off, so that these will lay here. And then I'm probably going to make a spacer, and then this will go on here, but get it out here where it belongs. Yeah, there. Can you see through my hand? There. Get it like somewhere out here. I put 3/8 spacer in there. That ought to be enough. So I'm going to see if I can make that happen. And Redman's going to be upset with me, because first order of business is I'm going to cut this tab off. And he doesn't like sparks. And some of those sparks are going to go toward him. Most of them will come toward me. Well, it's not perfect. I know. You're looking well. And I'm really not sure why. That looks like it's rusted already. Interesting. And yeah, it's got a little, because being offset too far here, it pulls it too much. Do I got it? No, I don't. I thought I had a goober in there. It's just the way it looks. And then I was thinking I probably should put a hook in here. Take a little chain hood, a hook on it just for safety, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to pop on its own. I can do that later. I do happen to have this really cute little chain. Just the right size for that. I got a hook. Works. You know, slip right in. But fastening that cute little chain to the hook. Here's another. This is actually a better sized one. This is one I made for something. I think it was, this got bolted down to something, and we had the hook to hook stuff to. I think that's what that was. It's been in this chain scrap for 10, 15 years, who knows. But anyway, I'm going to call that done. This one's a little harder. I buggered this one up putting it on. Then I had to break it off and reset it. But That should work. And easy if you want to take it off or let it down more. And that shouldn't come undone. So take a wire brush to stuff, wipe it down, throw some paint on it, put some air in the tires because the back ones, I know they need some. What I've found seems like 14 or 15 pounds is what they're supposed to have. And guessing on that type of tire, it might have 10 in it. Fronts are probably all right, but not the backs. There we go, painted it. Did a little more than I was gonna do. I wasn't gonna bother doing more than where I welded, but yeah. And I did not do the inside of the expanded steel, just the outside, but I did do all the tubing. Yeah, got a little on the chain, no big deal. So there it is, I'm done with it. Okay, other than some air in the tires, I gotta hook the battery back up too. And I know at one point I said something about that gas tank was supposed to be like 18 gallons. Well, that's because it all depends on where you look when you look things up. This one's just over 5 gallons, which will still get the thing around for a long time. So I just happened to think about that. Hey, may as well get some critters on here. The girls think they would like some dinner. This morning I actually had 3 or 4 of them come up and touch my hand. She did the other day. She's a regular, aren't you? Yeah? Boop. Boop. Got both of them. And yep, Bandit's over there eating some grain. That'll give it the shits. I got you. And that one, the yellow tag, she's actually touched me a couple of times. Anyway, pups are running around. Becky's trying to clean their pen up on the porch, patio, or whatever, and get the patio cleaned up. So I can't feed the old dogs yet until the puppies are out of here. He's the only one in here. The other 2 are out running around in the yard. But give them some grain, throw another bale of hay in for the night. I got to feed the 2-year-olds a bale of hay yet. And hopefully, Becky's almost done, so little shit there can quit eating grain and go up to the house. Gotta be curious. I was hoping the rest of them would come out, check backsides. Penny, why don't you go in front of me? Got a ways to go by the looks of it. I think she's actually not due till like May. So I was kind of weird when she had milk and mastitis a couple months ago. Didn't make sense. But I checked her a few days ago and there's no milk in there, so. Oh yeah, they got their bale. They're happy. I'm going this way so I can feed the bulls and the steers. What do you think, little girl? No? Okay. Your mama says it's okay. My mom. Yeah? Gotta take the phone out of my hand. After mineral, I put twice as much in today as I normally do because I put it in the other day and they inhaled it. They really want some tubs, but they need to eat the mineral too.